The ABC seeks to treat Indigenous cultures and beliefs with respect. To many communities, it is distressful and offensive to depict persons who have died. Indigenous communities which may be offended are warned that the following program may contain such scenes.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Caroline Jones. In the August of 2009, 2 youths were detained for the violent gang murder of 67-year-old Philip Sullivan. The boys, Blake Scully, aged 15, and Hayden McDougall, aged 16, were soon after given a lighter sentence under another judge, as he described them as being the victims themselves. On the morning of Monday the 31st, Mr. Sullivan was sadistically struck to the ground and filmed for the attacker's own mockery and amusement, in front of his 7-year-old granddaughter, and half an hour later was rushed to hospital. After 10 solid days of intense care and life support, Mr. Sullivan died in the hospital on the 10th of September. This is the story of an erroneous upbringing and an unforeseen punishing.
Hayden had tried to suck me into doing Church Lane again, and I'd come along this time. After last time, which we didn't get caught, so I was a bit more confident this time that we could do it again. Except this time we were caught on camera. They'd put up security cameras since then because of the last activity in that street.
The cops came through the door without even knocking and started lecturing my little boy on all that anything you say can and will be held in court nonsense. It was about 11 p.m. at night. He'd just gone to bed. They pulled him out and they cuffed up my little boy. It was absolutely ghastly. I was screaming, Hayden was crying, the police were yelling at us.
Barbara came to me one afternoon after a long day to try and gain some closure on the matter. And I felt the need to explain that it's completely normal for adolescents particularly to want to feel as though they belong to a group or craze. And it's during this stage when, yes, they themselves are victims. It won't be the end of the world for Barbara. She'll push through it. But for a while, she's going to feel very alone. It'll be a journey and it'll be hard to overcome. I just hope she benefits from the counselling.
Good. We wanted to run and hide somewhere so we weren't chased up on it. Because when you're first told that you killed someone, it's pretty dramatic. You feel like everything's chewed up, stuffed up. When I first came to the school, I was pretty good. I had A's in all my subjects. And then when I met Hayden, we decided to do some things outside of school. We did a few hits probably 6 months ago, and ever since then we've just been getting into more stuffed up situations, and it keeps getting harder and harder for more laughs.
It's bizarre the way situations like these can evolve and twist our society. And I really feel that parents should try to emphasise, no matter how challenging the situation, gang violence is a very serious matter with very real consequences. And it's sickening to know that some people find fun out of brutally injuring another person. Parents ought to emphasise with their children's situations and just become more aware of what they're going through and in turn give themselves peace of mind.
When I found out about it, I said to Rob, my husband Rob, I said, he wouldn't do this, not my baby boy. He wouldn't do this. He couldn't do this.
I've spent most of my time doing things at home at first, in the past. It's just been ever since I came to this school and met this kid who's brought me into meeting all these new girls, and we've get around and do things we probably shouldn't. Just for fun. I think it was something I shouldn't do, get involved in. That's where all the things like drugs start.
No one wants their child to be demonized. Even if he said to my face, "Mum, I did it. I killed him," I still wouldn't believe it. I know my boy better than anyone else in the world. I just wish people wouldn't judge someone, especially a child, without knowing exactly what they're talking about and knowing who they're talking about.
They like the fact that I've managed to kill someone. They take pleasure out of it, knowing that they've got people in their gang that are capable of doing things like that. But yeah, I think with my parents have gone downhill ever since I met Hayden. Haven't really talked to them much, been home much.
I can't even go out anymore. I've lost all my friends. They say, "You raised a killer, and this is your fault." I didn't raise him like that. I only have offered my love and protection.
No, no one ever really wants to be that way. To run up and just hit people for fun. It's pretty sad if you think about it. But yeah, at the time when you're doing it, it's a whole different story. It's fun. It's something you go out and do like a hobby now.
Culture and society tends to shape the youth into certain stereotypes, and research shows that during puberty our brains are far more susceptible to outward influences than any other time period in our lives. And these influences are the ones that shape the youth, rather than those of the parents and guardians. Meaning, teens aren't going to look to their parents for guidance. While we all know it would be better for them, their friends and friends' friends are the culprits who lead them and push them to commit certain offences, in order to keep to the group's guidelines.
They make out that you feel a bit of strength or sadness from killing someone, but I didn't feel anything.
I think it must have been someone else in that video. I didn't recognise him myself, and I'm his mother. My boy would not do this. He pled guilty to the charges, but that's the system, you see. Everyone knows he can never escape it. The cops will get you if they think you did it. They'll do whatever it takes to lock you up. My boy was smart. He decided not to fight me. He told me, if I do this, I'll be back in a year. If I don't, I'll be in there forever.
I've met plenty of parents in much the same situation, albeit less drastic, and it's easy to see that no parent will be fully prepared for the massive changes adolescents go through during puberty. So yes, there will always be surprises. I can't imagine how hard it must be. 90% of teens will adhere to some kind of craze during adolescence, whether it be Xbox, soccer, Facebook or iPods. Some teens, however, are unfortunate to have the personality where it's too easy for them to find themselves trapped within the wrong crazes. The boys said the felony was somewhat accidental. However, nothing is happening to the boys they hang out with. They're partially to blame as well. I'd recommend counselling to them all. They're just troubled souls.
I do want to apologise to them, but I really don't know what I would say. I mean, with death, it's pretty hard to apologise on that. Yeah, what's done is done.
I'm sorry for Mr. Sullivan's family. I really am, but this isn't my boy. He didn't do this. I really hope people can understand that, because it's such an important thing.
I regret it a lot, particularly because we took it a bit further than we expected to.
I think that happy slapping, that silly little craze, it's nothing really. It's just guys going out and having a bit of fun. They're only young once. What harm is it really? Really, can you tell me? Not that he did it.